Hello YouTubers and welcome to the grapebuy789's channel. We are on our third segment of grapebuy789 2,000 subs special, in which I have won so far $64,950. Had a terrible segment on the last videos. I ended up not winning the game. In fact, on one of the toss-ups, I accidentally buzzed in by mistake, and that cost me that $3,000 for that toss-up, and it was just a host of bad luck in that Wheel of Fortune game. But hopefully I can fare out better in Jeopardy. And if I win this Jeopardy game, I will add a $25,000 bonus on top of this total. Let me go ahead and fix this camera here.
Is Jeopardy!
There we go. I think that's a good video view.
Please welcome our contestants. Player 1. Player 2. Player 3. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Let's take you right now into the Jeopardy round. Clues are worth $200 to $1,000 in these categories. B+, religion.
B+, religion.
Pop culture.
Pop culture.
Name the
novel. Name the novel might be different, code. In historic London.
Elementary.
And elementary.
Okay, let's get back into this. Player 1.
Let's start with elementary for 200.
The Bible tells us of this element being beaten into plates, cut into wires, and worked into the clothing worn by Aaron.
Let's try this.
Yes, player 1.
What is, oh boy. Was gold? I don't know.
Yes.
Elementary for 400.
EU. But this element, 238, doesn't stink. It powers pacemakers. Yes, player 1.
Was plutonium.
That's correct.
Elementary for 600.
I know Bernard Courtois discovered this element in 1811. Let's hear it.
Where's iodine?
Right. Player 1.
Elementary 800.
The Kennedy Space Center has used this gas, atomic number 54, in high-intensity lights for night landings. Yes, player 1.
Was neon?
No.
Gas, not neon.
Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Let's hear it, player 2.
Xenon.
Where do we begin, player 2? This ductile, non-radioactive element has an atomic weight of 26.98. Here's what we were looking for. Aluminum. You again, player 2. Jimmy to start us off.
Glasses with colored filters in each eye let you watch films in 3D. At the 2010 Grammys, the audience donned them for a montage from this performer's This Is It.
It was Michael Jackson.
Player 1.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, let's get back into this.
Okay, let's go with B+
for
for 200.
Shoeless. Player 1.
Was barefoot.
That's it.
B+
Player
for
1.
400.
It's 1 over par on a hole of golf. Player 1.
Was bogey.
Right. You again,
B+
player 1.
600.
Speaks to Moses in Exodus 3.
Was a bush.
Player 1.
A burning bush, I should say.
Yeah!
Good for you. Player 1,
And
able to speak both Spanish and English.
was bilingual.
Okay, Player 1.
And 1,000.
Again, this type of drug relaxes the smooth muscles in the airways, causing them to open.
I don't know this one.
Here's the correct response. A bronchodilator.
Yeah, that was tough.
Player 1, you pick.
All right,
again,
let's
please.
go back to pop culture 400.
In I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, Kevin James weds this Hanukkah song guy at Niagara Falls. Let's hear it, Player 3. Good.
Oh, Adam Sandler.
Player 3, where do we start? Michael C. Hall of 6 Feet Under went to Showtime to play this homicidal title character.
Hang on. Answering my wife on my watch.
Here's the correct response. Dexter Morgan. Please pick again, Player 3. In 1964, he topped the pop music charts with the title song from Hello Dolly.
Getting a lot of messages today. I wonder what is going on.
We're talking about Louis Armstrong. Player 3, back to you. A two-time Oscar-winning actress, one of her first jobs was as the Coppertone Suntan Lotion Girl at age 3 in 1965. Okay, Player 2. That's not it.
I think it's Helen Hunt.
Anyone else?
I'll try it.
Let's hear it, Player 1.
Who is Jodie Foster? Bye, sweetheart, and I love you.
Player 1, make a selection, please, as we continue.
Okay, historic London for 200.
You can visit several of these historic structures.
I was sending messages to my Apple phone.
Let's hear it, Player 1.
What wow. What, policies?
Yep. Player 1. Regent's Park was a hunting ground for this 16th century king who never hunted without tiring 8 or 10 horses. Okay, Player 3. That's incorrect.
Now,
Anyone
Charles
else?
II, I'm going to go try.
Okay, Player 1.
Who is Henry VIII?
Yes. Player 1. Famous men who orated at Hyde Park's Speaker's Corner include Friedrich Engels and this 1848 Engels co-author. Let's hear it, Player 1.
Who is Karl Marx?
Yeah! Player 1. Arthur Wellesley, the first Duke of this, was known as a soldier, but had an eye for art, as you can see at Apsley House. Let's hear it, Player 1.
Was the Duke of Wellington?
Yeah!
And 1,000.
You get to pick. According to Shakespeare, these conflicts began with a confrontation in the Temple Gardens. Player 1.
What are the War of the Roses?
Yeah.
Player one, you
Okay,
begin,
let's
please.
do religion for 200.
As part of Catholic baptism, this word doesn't mean time at the gym, but the casting out of demons.
What's exorcism?
Let's hear it, player one. Correct. You get to pick an autobiography of a yogi. Was a popular book by this religion's first missionary to settle in the U.S.
I don't know this one.
Here's the correct response. Hinduism.
With Hinduism, okay.
Player one, the
600.
church founded by Mary Baker Eddy in 1879 was formerly called the Church of Christ this. Okay, player one.
What is, oh wow. Was risen?
Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? We're talking about scientist.
Oh, scientists.
We return to you, player one.
I'm cooling out on this religion
Yes.
one.
The Daily Double. And you're in the lead now. Player one, please.
$100. I'm not comfortable with this.
The clue. At a deer park, Buddha taught the path of this many parts, part of the Four Noble Truths.
With 7.
However, you keep your lead. Here's the response we were looking for. 8.
Okay.
Select again.
Religion 1000.
Here's Jimmy from our Clue Crew with the clue.
The nave, the central part of a cruciform church, ends in this recessed area that is usually vaulted.
Okay, player 3. No. Sorry. Anyone else?
I'll take that risk.
Let's hear it, player 1.
What is the apps?
That's it.
Okay,
Picking
name the
player
novel
one.
for 200.
1937. I have chosen Mr. Baggins, and that ought to be enough for all of you. It's player 3. That's not it. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? It's player 1.
What is The Hobbit?
Please, picking
Four.
1813. Happy for all her maternal feelings was the day Mrs. Bennet got rid of her 2 most deserving daughters. Here's the response we were looking for. Pride and Prejudice. Player 1, back to you. 1932. In the 4,000 rooms of the center, the 4,000 electric clocks simultaneously struck 4.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what we were looking for. Brave New World. Player 1,
Yeah, it is.
1902. The horror. The horror. Here's what we wanted. Heart of Darkness. And now the $1,000 clue. 1961. Once upon a time, there was a Martian named Valentine Michael Smith.
Well, we have the lead.
Here's the response we were looking for. Stranger in a strange land. Player 3, you're going first as Double Jeopardy, and we'll start that round right after this break. And we have 2 daily doubles awaiting you in these categories. and artists. Ain't we got pun? Women's firsts.
Okay.
This side of parasites. Samuel L. Jackson. And libraries. A lot of clues, a lot of categories, player 3.
Side of parasite.
When a tiny parasite enters an oyster shell, mantle cells cover it with nacre until this is formed. Player 1.
Was the pearl.
Yeah! Good.
Samuel L.
Player
Jackson
one.
for
Start.
400.
In the late 80s, Sam was the rehearsal stand-in for this comedy legend on his self-titled sitcom. It's player 2.
Oh, shoot.
You got it.
I should have known that.
Where do we begin, player 2? Sam proclaimed, "And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee," in this 1994 film.
I didn't see that film.
It's player 3. You got it.
Yeah, Pulp Fiction.
Player 3, where do we start? Sam made brief appearances as this character in Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America.
Wow. Now, these are the movies that I did not see with Samuel L. Jackson.
Here's what we were looking for. Nick Fury.
Nick Fury, okay.
This country's national library, the Biblioteca Nacional José Martí, was financed by a tax on sugar. Yes, player 1?
I'm going to say, where's Mexico?
Sorry, that's...
Uh-oh.
Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Let's hear it, player 2. That is correct. Player 2, where do we start? The Hector Hodler Library in Rotterdam, which is devoted to this artificial language, has over 15,000 books. Let's hear it, player 2. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Player 3? That is correct. Great, you're back into it now. Where do we begin, player 3? When his presidential library was dedicated in 1991, 4 former presidents were in attendance. It's player 1.
I want to say, who is Reagan?
That's it. Player 1, where do we start?
Ain't we got pun for 400?
A scholarly paper on punning restaurant names was titled "Do Drop In" and "This Vegetable Entertain You." Here's what we were looking for. Lettuce.
Let us entertain you. Got it.
Player 1. Picking. A presidential exhibit at the National Postal Museum was called "This to the Chief." Player 1.
What is mail to the chief?
That's correct. Select again. About comparing a pair of beetles, a punchline in Master and Commander is "Choose the lesser of two these." Let's hear it, player 1.
What is weevils?
Oh, you're right. Player 1. 8 months pregnant, Jolie Fisher did a cabaret act entitled "From Here to This." Yes, player 1.
What is maternity?
That's it. You again, player 1. Punning on Glenn Miller, a 1985 film with Gina Davis as a vampire was called "This 65000."
Don't know this one.
Okay, player 3. Player 3, start us. This Shakespeare library, named for this Standard Oil man, is run by Amherst College. Yes, player one?
Who is, Andrew Carnegie? Daggett.
That's incorrect. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this?
3 bars on my camera left, which means that I might have to, squeeze in this last segment.
Here's the correct response. Henry Folger.
Or Henry Folger, shoot.
Select again.
Finish this one.
The Radcliffe Camera, Britain's first round library, is the main reading room of this bigger library at Oxford. Here's the correct response. The Bodleian Library. Select again.
Women's, okay, I can't pick.
Let's show her a little R-E-S-P-E-C-T. She's the first woman inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
It was Aretha Franklin.
Yes, player one? That's correct. Player one,
Women's
used
first
it,
aid.
and I'll hand it off to Sarah.
In 2007, Drew Gilpin Faust became the first female president in the 371-year history of this picturesque university.
Okay, player two. Correct. Good.
Okay.
Back on the plus side. Player two, start us. Registering as Kay Switzer in 1967, Catherine Switzer became the first woman to officially enter and run this race. Player one?
What is the Boston Marathon?
That's correct. Okay, let's get back. Frances Perkins became the first woman cabinet member when FDR put her to work as secretary of this.
I'll try it.
Let's hear it, player one.
What is the Secretary of Labor?
Player one, Wilma Mankiller was the first woman to serve as principal chief of this Southeast Native American tribe. Here's the correct response. Cherokee.
Cherokee, okay.
Please pick again, player one.
Let's do this side of parasites A.
This plant grows as a parasite on apple tree trunks, blooms in February and March, yet still is a factor in Christmas kisses. Okay, player one.
Where's the mistletoe?
You again, player one. PSI is a charity delivering nets to fight this parasite-caused disease that kills 3,000 African children a day. Yes, player one.
What is malaria?
Good for you. Player one. You can vent this soft ductless organ that fights infection with parasite detection.
Let's try it.
Okay, player one.
What is... Oh, boy. What is the gallbladder?
No. Sorry. Anyone else? Here's the correct response. The spleen.
Oh, the spleen, dag.
Player one.
2000.
Closely related to meningitis, this inflammation of the brain can result from viral infections or tiny parasites. Let's hear it, player one.
What is encephalitis?
Correct. Please pick again, player one.
All right, art and artist for 400.
This telegraph inventor's notable portraits included those of the Marquis de Lafayette and William Cullen Bryant. It's player one.
Who is Edison?
That's incorrect. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this?
Okay.
Player 3? Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Player 2? Yes. All right, let's get back into this. Player 2 has Picasso painted this work as a protest against the bombing of a town in the Spanish Civil War. We're talking about Guernica. Player 2, pick again. In her 1949 painting, Diego and I, Diego Rivera is depicted on her forehead. Player 3? You got it. Player 3, you start us off. Helen Frankenthaler's soak and stain technique was inspired by this artist's drip paintings. Player 3? Correct.
He's going to get the daily doubles, I think.
Player 3, back to you for our next selection.
That's first daily double. The other one's on art and artist, I think.
First of the 2 daily doubles. You are currently in second place. Player 3, please select the clue. As Elijah Price, Sam was the frail antithesis to Bruce Willis in this 2000 flick. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's the correct response. Unbreakable. Player 3, back to you for our next selection. Lucius Best was the secret identity of this ultra-cool Incredibles character, voiced by Sam. Let's hear it, Player 3. Yeah! And the $2,000 clue? The second daily double. You're in second place, so what is your wager going to be? Decide on your way. And the clue. One of his last paintings before his 1903 death in the South Pacific was a landscape of Brittany in winter. Yeah, good. I'll see you all for Final Jeopardy in just a moment.
Okay, we made this a non-runaway game. Here we go.
Jeopardy, of course, so let's take a look at the category, shall we? 16th century names.
I'm going to do terrible in this
So,
one.
what's your wager?
He can get 15,800, so I'm going to go $101.
Here you are, players, the Final Jeopardy clue. Paul III roared at him, "I have waited 30 years for your services. Now I'm Pope. Can't I satisfy my desire?"
I'm just going to go with who is Martin Luther. We'll see what happens here.
What did you say? Sorry, that incorrect response
I'm
will
wrong.
drop your score by...
That means I'm wrong too.
Let's see your response. And this correct
Shoot.
response will add how
He
much
went
to your score?
7805.
And your response?
That means I lose the game here.
And that will set you back.
Dang it.
This makes you our new
So
champion.
$15,599. But since I came in second place,
Good
we're
game.
add $15,000 to the total. So it's $30,799. So your total is $95,749. And we'll do that surprise segment right in a few moments. We'll be right back after this.